After last episode, the game has changed and is now looking all sunny for the Straw Hats. My name is the Loudmouth Canadian. Thank you so much for coming. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know. Let's just get straight into it. One Piece episode, I think it's 1039 now. Yep, 1039. And right off the bat, we look at the effect of Tama using her devil fruit. If you don't know, Tama has a devil fruit where she can make, I think the name is like demi dongos, or they're basically dumplings, right? And she could take them from her cheek and give them to zone devil fruit users and then control them. And so what they did throughout like this arc is force fed them to different zones on the island through the gifters and the headliners. And now she's activated them, so they're all fighting for Tama against Kaido. And this helps tremendously, where Jinbei, Frankie, and that dog Mink was, having trouble, struggling. Wasn't struggling, but you could tell it's just a matter of time before the numbers get to them. Not anymore. It's complete 180. It's not like, oh, they're now outnumbered. It's just they now have a bunch more helping, a bunch more on their side. And so Nami and Usopp, they're like hyping up Tama. They're like, yeah, you did so well. I'm so proud of you. You did good. The operation was a great success. We did good. And Queen, he's on the ground floor. He's looking up at them. He's like, what? Huh? What did this girl do? Nah. These are my day ones. What are you doing? And so he tries to charge up a laser beam, which is quite similar to a pacifista. They open their mouth and it's all like an orb of energy forms up. And Sanji, he uses Collier Strike and kicks Queen right in the head and saves Tama, Usopp, and Nami. It was a great scene. Love the way Usopp is animated. Very good animation for Usopp, right? And Queen, he calls him out. He's like, son of Judge, how dare you? How dare you? And Sanji, first off, he's like, don't call me that. Don't do that. I don't like him. Don't do that. And then he realized, he's like, oh my god, you was on that mad science group with my dad, wasn't you? And Queen's like, oh, so you know about that group? Let me tell you something. Me, your dad, and Vegapunk, we were the brains. But let me show you what I mean. And then he reveals that he is a cyborg dinosaur. And what I mean by that is he must have modified his human form. No. The way it could only make sense is I don't know how this makes sense. He must have modified his human form so that when it went into his hybrid form, it would carry over. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense unless you modified both. And one transformation doesn't carry over the cyborg effect, so you have to do it for both. I think that's the only way it can make sense. I'm not too sure how it works. But I like how Vin Smoke Judge and Queen are both similar and different to Vegapunk. Like Vegapunk used what they learned to do the pacifistas, whereas Queen did that to help himself, and Vinsmoke did that to make clones and soldiers and modify his kids. So you can also see like just how working together has aided each other in their own goals. And so this hybrid psychic, oh my god, I'm stumbling right there. Hybrid cyborg dinosaur form is just has like a turbine blade hand, extendable tail, because it's hybrid form, he still has that goofy looking mouth and mustache, and it's just really, really stupid looking. I don't like the mouth. I'll be honest, I don't like the mouth. Sanji, before he engages, he checks on Chopper and he asks, how's Zoro doing? And Chopper, he first is like, what did you say? I can't hear you. And when Sanji turns around, it turns out that the side effect of taking the Rumble Ball is left him in like a half Maggie Simpson, half Grandpa Simpson state. And so like he's unable to transform, to fight. He's basically weak in his current state, right? And Chopper says, look, I knew the risks. When Caesar the Clown was making it, we discussed it, and yeah, I knew what would happen. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'll look after Zoro. And so with this, Sanji continues his fight with Queen. Chopper, he asks Dr. Miyagi, the goat mink, how's Zoro doing, and he's told, look, he's got 20 to 30 broken ribs, but he seems to be breathing fine. I mean, he's breathing fine, but this guy is in no fit state to fight. He just needs to take a time out and relax, because geez Louise, this guy cannot be out here. Zoro, he wakes up from this and he's like, look, I don't care what happens to me. I need you to help me out so I can help and win this war. And so Dr. Miyagi, he tells Chopper, look, there's a medicine we use on Zo, and it speeds up the healing process for a short time. But afterwards, the pain you're in is twice you felt in the beginning. So Chopper's like, nah, I can't do that. He's my friend. I can't do that to him. That's my bedroom. But Zo's like, look, bro, I don't mind. Just do it. Because we need to help Luffy and we need to defeat Kaido. This is priority number one. This takes precedent. And so he's like, fine, don't worry. We'll give it to you. If you really want it that much, we'll give it to you. And I think this is such a beautiful, not like a redo, but sort of like a comparative scene and a throwback to, was it the Sabaody arc? No, Thriller Bark arc, where he took Luffy's damage for him. And it just shows how much of a reliable guy Zoro is and a reliable member of the crew, which I think is just beautiful, and it's a great character moment for him again. And so we go back to the little room that the CP0 have, and just a little update on the numbers and the new headliners and gifters siding with the Straw Hats make it so they have an additional 300 members. And so with this 300 members, things are starting to look a bit more positive. Again, it's not like it looks like they're going to win no matter what, but it just looks a bit more in the green, if that makes sense. And so we go back to Nami, Usopp, and Tama, and they are being chased by some random warriors of Kaido. Just chased. And Nami, bless her, she wants to stay behind and fight, so she tells the other two to go ahead. But then she is saved by a headliner called Daifugu. If you remember, this was the guy in the prison, the scorpion one, and Speed is also there. So Daifugu takes out the warriors, and Speed's like, look, Tama and Nami, jump on my back. I'll get you somewhere safe. There's no room for Usopp. He's gonna have to run. That's fine. He needs the exercise. He's a bit lazy. And so they're helped out, and then the last scene in that episode is Jinbei versus Who's Who. It's now 1-on-1. Before it was Who. He's being backed up by a bunch of, fodder people, but that's taken care of. So it's just Jinbei and Who's Who. And so they start fighting, and Who's Who uses jet pistols, shave, iron body, and Tempest Kick against Jinbei. And if you know your One Piece history, like Jinbei does in this episode, then you will come to the same conclusion Jinbei does. He says, you used to work for the Cyber Pole Company, didn't you? You used to work for them. Those are all techniques of them. And Hu's like, yeah, that's you're right. You are right. And he transforms into his hybrid form, which is, half man, half saber-tooth. I forgot what fruit he has, but it's half man, half saber-tooth, right? And so he goes to explain that in my heyday, I was compared to Rob Lucci. So that's, if you remember Rob Lucci from that arc, that is a praise, because Rob Lucci was feared amongst the other members of CP0. So to be given the name like that, high praise. And so he goes on to say that I made one mistake and it messed me up. It was about 13 years ago, where I was protecting a certain devil fruit which the redhead pirates took from me. And then 2 years ago, I had this straw hat pirate making waves using the abilities of that same damn fruit. So Who's Who, when he was originally an agent, was protecting that fruit, but it was taken by Shanks, which was eaten by Luffy. So that is the origin of how Shanks even found that fruit. But what's more interesting is it was being guarded by CP0, not the Navy, CP0. They only get involved when things are important. So the fact that CP0 is the one protecting it says something about the fruit, and that's where it ends. Great episode, 6 out of 10. Love the animation. Really shows the effect of putting all your eggs in one basket. Because Kaido, he relied on animal-based devil fruit. But then now you have someone whose devil fruit is to control animal-based devil fruit users. So now he's actually put himself at a detriment. It's a good episode, 6 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, my friends.